Okay, I've been waiting to use this happy intro for quite some time now. So today we'll use it. All right, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Salam sejahtera and welcome to JomUnited. We are a Malaysian Manchester United fan channel. Yes, dengan bangganya Buatan Malaysia. Yes, dengan bangganya fan Manchester United. Correct ah, Doc? The reason
Correct.
the reason why I got you guys to come on live is we gotta do a bit of an intervention for Doc. We need to save him. Seriously. It's like as days go by, right? The old Doc is disappearing there. After this, I think maybe you'll start growing some hair afro or whatever. We'll never know from how things are going now. Okay, Josh, I can see that pattern that Mona Lisa art that beautiful art behind you all right, so maybe you can explain to our fellow friends here what is that virus is it Pogba underneath a microscope muted day cannot hear day. Aduh, this one really potong lah, aduh. You see, this one confirm your line kena potong either from Unify lah or
Unify.
from Bangsa. No Bangsa. This one not.
No. Bangsa is always a different game, dude. Next weekend I want to watch it.
Jaya. Dia kena hack from Kelana Jaya lah. From guys from Kelana Jaya.
The next game against City, we are watching in Bangsa, dude.
No. The next game is City, right? We camp at home, day. We are camping at home. We are not going anywhere.
I want to go and watch in Bangsa because Bangsa always happens to show a different game from what we see, dude.
Josh, I think you need to reboot your laptop and then come back on.
Too much of running around in the pitch there, I think.
Okay, never mind. It's okay. So never mind. We proceed lah. Both of us we proceed lah. Okay, Doc. I need to ask you lah, Doc. Why so much negativity, Doc? I'm putting you under the spotlight now. Why so much negativity? When we lose, the last 6 games, we played like crap lah. Okay, against Burnley, we played as if they were bloody Manchester City lah. Okay, we played against Spurs, we as if they were like Real Madrid and whatnot lah. Okay, so but this game this morning, right? Okay, although it's a weakened Crystal Palace side, I admit. But weren't you entertained by the football that we were playing this morning?
I'm just keeping it in perspective, Coach Dom. I mean, all the while, the whole season, we've had poor performances on the pitch, right? And suddenly we have one against an understrength Crystal Palace team at home who didn't show any impetus to attack. Yeah, we did play well, decently well in patches. But again, it is a weakened Crystal Palace side.
If you want to compare, okay, I think the closest, because they played pretty much a low block, pretty much like Nottingham Forest game that day, right? I mean, if you were to compare the Nottingham Forest, okay, take away the 2-goal lead and whatnot, but the style that we were playing, right, pretty much breaking down the low block, right? You can actually see the difference, right?
Yeah, but you need to also remember, yes, they're playing a low block, but at least Forest, right, there was an outlet. That the striker was there, right, who actually did give us some problems. But yesterday, they showed no interest to even attack. I mean, you can say that Amrabat a lot in midfield. Yeah, but he was rarely put under any pressure. And don't forget, the defense that they had was not even their first 11 defense. I think Ward was missing. Even Johnston came in as a sub, right? Before he could warm up, he already let in a goal, which probably would have affected his performance as well. Guehi came on as a second half substitute. Anderson didn't play. The only I think mainstay in the back four was Mitchell playing on the left side. Will Hughes wasn't there in the midfield, so they were actually a weakened Palace side, right?
He came in the second half, but then he didn't start right from the start. He wasn't there, he wasn't
playing. Correct. And again, don't forget, I know Josh not saying we had a weakened United team as well, right? But we had 11 internationals on the pitch.
But the thing is, right, Doc, the thing is, it's like this. If just say, somehow, right, this morning we would have lost that game, we would have screwed up, somehow Maguire messed up and whatnot, would you have reacted negatively?
No, I think I didn't criticize the way the team performed. I think they did decently well, right? But I'm telling you, it's we're getting all so excited. Well, we played a beautiful brand of football, but we are playing a weakened Palace team. And let's put it into perspective. Yeah, I'm happy with the performance, right?
You
We
don't
scored
seem
three
happy with
goals.
the
We
performance.
kept
You don't seem happy
no,
with the
because
performance.
what I'm seeing is everybody's like so excited. Oh, this is what we've been trying to do. This is exactly the gameplay we want. But keep it in perspective. It was a weakened Palace side, right?
Yeah, but
Let's see what this weekend when there's a full team, whether it's exactly the same or not. I'm sure. I mean, of course, I want to win, right? And I hope there is a repeat performance. But well, it will be a different challenge over the weekend.
okay, true lah. I can see your point of view in that lah. But then again, I think majority of us, right, when we are talking about the game that win this morning, is more to like we've been so deprived of good football. It's like we've been like suffering, like waking up 3 a.m. countless times. I think like 2-3 times already, and then the performance that we get is like not worth watching, not worth watching football. So I think I understand the fans. Even myself also, I understand. I'm a guy who's like I'm not very biased. Like occasionally I'm biased. Like, okay, I'm not very emotional. Okay, but then right, I can understand. I can understand. When we see something, a display of football like that, right, it's a breath of fresh air. At least there's some positivity. At least we stop arguing among fans. At least we stop attacking the manager just for these few days. Lah. All right. If it's not, it's like, oh, Eric Ten Hag this, Eric Ten Hag now. Come on, man. It's like with so much negativity. Then what's the point of watching football? That's what I'm trying to pass on to a lot of the guys. Lah. That's the thing.
Yeah, but my point is this, Dom. It's one performance. Yes, it was a good performance, right? Let's not take anything away from the performance, but and maybe the fact that we are starved of any good football since the season began, right? Everybody's all reacting like it was a wonderful
True.
performance. That is my point. That is my point because this is what let's take into consideration. This was a very much weakened Palace side, which didn't even show any willingness to go forward. So basically, our midfielders and our defenders were put under no pressure. Maguire looked like Beckenbauer at the back, right?
Actually, he was exposed also lah, but because Rafael Varane was on his right, and then Amrabat was pretty much helping him also, right? So I think he was he
Yeah,
looked
I mean, he
decent.
made a very good intervention right at the beginning when he was still 0-0, right? I
Yeah,
think
correct.
that
He
one, if
cleared the
he had
ball.
not done it, it would probably been 1-0. Okay, Onana had, I think, the easiest clean sheet he would ever have, lah.
Gaji buta. Literally don't have to do anything lah. Don't have
He,
to
he
do
made one
anything lah.
save, lah. Let's be fair to him in the second half, right? Which wasn't very far from him, but whatever said and done, he kept the clean sheet, which is probably good for his psyche as well. Coming off that Bayern game, and then since then he's had 2 clean sheets. So there are positives, but let's not get carried away. That is my point. We've got
But I think
a big few weeks that are coming up. Okay, a lot of home games. So we play Palace, we play Galatasaray at home.
yeah,
We need to
5 games.
build on the momentum.
We got 5 games coming out. I think that we should win all those 5 games. Like seriously, if we want to
Exactly.
build something, we have to build because the next tough game. I mean, Brentford, okay lah, they're pretty good lah. Okay, but then again, it's a team that I think with our full squad, with our capabilities, we should be able to win lah. We should be able to win at least the next 5 games. Then we meet the biggest monster. That's when we can actually see whether this midfield is potent or not. Okay, Josh, are you ready, Josh?
Test. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Finally,
All right.
you I
So,
think too
nobody
tired.
got-
You ran all over. You ran all over the pitch. You're too tired already.
No, that's how I
Taruh ni.
was saying this is not a virus. This is the toxicity level in dog's body. It's everywhere.
Toxicity level in dog's body. Okay, so we were just saying lah, okay, that we shouldn't be too excited, too happy with the win this month. Of course lah, obviously, but then we deserve some positiveness lah. That's the point. Over the next 5 games, we must win lah. If we don't win, then it doesn't mean anything lah, right? So maybe Josh, you want to payung a bit, you want to talk about the hitman behind you, and then of course your shirt also. I also got my shirt. I want to share with you guys also my shirt.
Yeah, so I think when the last time when we had this call, and I think that just before that signed Amrabat, I was saying this guy is going to be the legs of the team, and he will be the most efficient guy and the most important guy for Eric Ten Hag because he plays for every holes in the defensive line. So he and when you play a forward line, there's always the attacking mid of a free role. Well, this guy does it defensively, where he actually helps out a lot. A lot of hard work is there. And he does it a lot during the Morocco time and during Fiorentina. So with the holes that we have a lot in defensively, I think this guy can bring a lot of defensive stability. I think yesterday we saw, but you're right. We don't have to be too excited over things, because at the end of the day, it's still the League Cup, it's still Palace, it's still not a full first team, but the test will start this weekend and right up to the game against City.
Okay, Amrabat, Dave Jong mentioned Amrabat hopefully can be like Kante in Chelsea those days. I think he can though.
Can I ask you a question? This kind of heat map, what is it? Does it show that there are a lot of gaps in other players? That he has to cover so much of area. He started at left back, remember? He came into midfield as an inverted
left back.
on the left side. This heat map shows him left, right, center. I would be worried looking at this,
He was all over the pitch. There was one point, right? He ran to the right side also. He went and tackled somebody in the right side also. There was like
exactly. But when you play better teams, you will get punished if your players are out of position like that.
No, that's why Ten Hag needs player like this. That's why he always like Frankie De Jong. Frankie De Jong also is a guy who comes to the defense, asks for ball, he goes to the left, and then he goes to the right, distributes the ball, and so forth. But you see, along to play. I mean, this is the heat map for two halves, so that's why it's all scattered around. But if you see the two different halves, right? His priority is defensive. He doesn't go on the box. He doesn't go for the headers. Unless like if we are really down with goals, then you will see that kind of movements. But his priority is to help the defense. That's why he don't mind playing at the left back, at the right back, and his role is actually to invert inside. When he played the left back, that's how he inverted into the DM role. He don't go in the line and do a Regulon or a Luke Shaw, give crosses inside. He doesn't do that. Whereby that's where a left winger and Garnacho, you saw that he was the one doing all of this work actually. You won't see Amrabat overlapping Garnacho in that note. So the inverted role is so important for Ten Hag. So we didn't have that kind of player. We thought Mason Mount can do that. Bruno wasn't the best of players to do that. We tried with Eriksen. He hasn't have the legs to do it. So we hope that Amrabat is the guy to move forward and to keep him fit as much as possible.
Yeah, but actually the main thing I think is the balance in our midfield. A lot of our midfielders, they are more like advanced orientated going forward and whatnot. Defensive wise, I think it's only Casemiro so far, and then we know Abang already tua already . So maybe Doc, having someone like Amrabat, okay, I know again it's a weakened Crystal Palace team and whatnot but then having someone like that, maybe pretty much an anchor at the back, right? Does it actually help people like Mason Mount? Like yesterday, Mason Mount and Hannibal, they were like free roles, right? Both of them, pretty much. And then also Casemiro, a bit more adventurous. He can, go score goals and create, move higher up the pitch. Even Lindelof ran up. Right? There was once he ran up, I think, right into the penalty box. So does it actually gives us a different style of play for all of our other players?
I thought yesterday Amrabat and Casemiro looked good together. But then again, they weren't really tested. It would be good to see them play against better teams, and if they can still have that kind of control, it will be good. Casemiro has been calling out for help. You've seen he's been overloaded in midfield and teams breaking through midfield. So I mean, it was an impressive performance by Amrabat. I hope he can keep it up in the games to come. But the rest of the players around him need to contribute. Yesterday, actually, if you look at it, I think Mason Mount had a decent half. I think probably his best half since the season began. But there were also players who were doing a lot of, who were working tirelessly, right? But with no outcome.
Hannibal
is one. Okay, for me, even Pelistri really worked hard. He tried a lot of things, but his use of the ball was seldom came up with any final output. Okay.
Exactly.
Similarly for Garnacho on the left, and this will be an argument that we'll probably have later, right? Who's going to start on the left? For me, he was missing.
Let's talk about it now. Alexandro Garnacho on the left, all right. My humble opinion, whatever he played yesterday, right? I mean, this morning was way better than what Rashford contributed since the start of this season.
Maybe you want to go to Josh first?
No, you first.
Okay. For me, he didn't do enough yesterday to warrant a place over Rashford. Granted, he scored a goal. Okay. And that is what people look at. Oh, yeah, he started left, he scored a goal. He was missing from the beginning of the game until he scored that goal. Okay. And even for the rest of the first half, he was missing. Second half was when he actually came to life. He took on some players to, I would say varied success. But again, right, did he do enough to warrant a place over Rashford? For me, I don't think so.
How about his energy levels? When it comes to like tracking back and whatnot, right, it's something that Eric Ten Hag, I think he stressed a lot on his players and whatnot. And then we actually saw that, I think there was one point he fell down on the pitch, then he got up and then he sprinted back, tried to win the ball back. These are the kind of small stuff that I see more of the passion, the desire to perform on the pitch.
Yeah, but Garnacho has played on left before, and he's not a player who really actually dropped back to help his left back. If you compare him and Anthony is the guy who will drop back to help his right back. Garnacho doesn't. Okay, maybe yesterday, the game was a very easy pace game yesterday. All right, and he could do that. But even I think there's one video of him and Hannibal chasing back, but they didn't even get the ball. Right.
But at least they attempted to run back. Have you seen the Scott McTominay video? I mean,
Yeah, I've seen both.
amazing.
I've seen the McTominay video. I've seen the Rashford jogging video.
Rashford jogging. Are you sure? Rashford jogging. Are you sure?
Ouch!
I thought he's the best, the world class, the next Rooney or whatnot. He shouldn't be jogging.
Look, I'm to be honest, I'm a little bit disappointed in Rashford. He is a player who can reach that kind of levels. He's got the talent in a way to reach that kind of levels. He has been playing center forward sometimes, and that is not his ideal position. Now he's back on the left. Again, we all say he's running into walls, but he is the guy who's at least trying, especially in the games where the rest of the players didn't look up to it. He was the guy trying things. Whether or not he succeeded is a different question. But if you look back at some of the previous games, even the Bayern game, he was the one who set up Højlund for the goal. The Nottingham Forest game, he was the catalyst for the comeback, playing on the left. I think he had a hand in all three goals, if I'm not mistaken, right? He got the penalty. He set up Bruno's header across for Casemiro. So there are bright moments. If you ask me, he has done enough in the last couple of games. Don't look at the last game. We're all looking at the last game against Burnley and in fact Brighton. But a few games before that, right? I think he has done more to deserve that place, or at least a run in that place, until the rest can actually do it consistently. Now, then comes to my other point on early substitutions. Then you get to actually see whether players are, in form or not, and then you make switches.
So that means, right, you're trying to say that for Rashford's situation, right, the reason why he's left on the pitch and whatnot is Eric Ten Hag's decision, that maybe it's his Ana Emas and whatnot. Even though he's playing crap all, he refused to take him out of the pitch. Maybe we get some info from Josh. Josh, what do you think about Marcus Rashford's situation? The thing that we all were arguing all morning, the whole afternoon.
Yeah, but okay, so Rashford, he needs this type of waking up call, and yesterday's results, right? Actually, I mean, with all due respect to Crystal Palace and League Cup, these are the things where the confidence of them will come and the synergy will come all again, right? And Rashford needed this kind of awareness to say that, hey, if my team is performing, I'm going to lose my spot. We need that reflect, and we all want Rashford to succeed. But the problem is he's too complacent with his place in left wing, and I think also sometimes Ten Hag give him the benefit of the doubt, that he is the best player. But because we were so bad, he was the best player, exactly, right? So he had to play, and he was the one getting the goal and assist. But now that we are moving up, that gaining that confidence and all those things, even like example like yesterday, Garnacho started. So now who will start in the game against Palace? I feel that he will still go with Rashford to start at the left wing. All right, that's ultimately. But because that he now will think in his head, well, Garnacho did well, he got a goal, and I might be substituted out even earlier, he might perform better. So I wish that is running through his mind before he even goes to think that, I can dribble again, or I can take on three players, I don't want that to be running, and that has been running in his head. You can see his actions on the field. So hopefully that keeps in his mind, keep him on his toes to see that, hey, if I don't perform in the next 60 minutes, I'll be out. And Garnacho going to take my turn. If he score a goal, score an assist, because we want that competition. So hopefully that's running in his mind. And, by all means, I hope Rashford does well, because we need him back to start scoring goals and contribute to the team in assists, primarily from that position.
But one of the things that I think from this morning, right, is the goals. Again, it's a weakened Crystal Palace side, I know. But then the goals that we scored, right, is more team-orientated. Compared to our previous individual brilliance and whatnot. So one of my point, the worry with Rashford is, I know we want him to get back into form, into scoring goals, but the more he try to do what he's doing, and then maybe trying to chase the goal tally of last season, right? I think for every 10 goals that he successfully score by doing the gameplay that he's doing, right, will actually affect the overall team. Like instead of him scoring 10 goals, maybe we could have gotten 20 goals if he would have passed and whatnot. So this is one of the things that I'm actually not very happy with Rashford because of that. Not because of Martial or being on no, seriously. I'm a Manchester United fan. I want the best for my team. But then the more I see Rashford play like this, right, the more pissed off I get. Seriously. I cannot
But I don't think that's true though. George said it himself. Rashford looked good because everyone else around him was poor. He's still there. Everybody else around him is still poor. The ones on the bench have not done enough to take his place, right? And the fact that you said that he scored 10 goals, but the team didn't score six, he stopped the team from scoring. No, also not true. Last season when he stopped scoring, the team stopped scoring. We were scraping games. Remember, end of the season, because he was not scoring, the rest of the team were not contributing after the Carabao Cup. So again, I still think Rashford will start. Garnacho for me still has issues when he starts. I think he cannot last full games. He is less effective when he starts because of his game is based on pace, and I feel he still doesn't have that upper body strength to take on defenders. He's better as a sub as of now, but if again, Ten Hag should also make early substitutions. If Rashford is not performing like the Burnley game, hook him off at halftime, right? Bring in a sub, and if the sub does well, right, then there is a reason to start him in the next game, or possibly a couple of good substitute appearances, and then he takes his place. But right now, as it stands, nobody has demonstrated that kind of consistency to actually warrant a place over him.
But Doc, right now, right, we already have a central forward, so you cannot use the statement that last season. Well, right now, we have a proper center forward in Rasmus Højlund. So
Yeah,
obviously,
and also he's the one looking for Rasmus Højlund. If you look at the last game, the understanding may not be there yet, but I feel there is something brewing between them.
he has to continue to develop. That's one of the things. And
Yeah,
not only
so it's still
Rasmus
early
Højlund,
days. It's still early days, but I can see that he's trying to look for Højlund. I think there was one in the last game against Burnley, right? He had an open shot, but he tried to play to Højlund, who was making that cross run, and then Højlund stopped. But he was looking for the forwards run. So I think there is something
Bruno was
budding
on
there.
the right hand side, right? Bruno was running, or is it Casemiro running on right hand side? Something like that. So he chose
Yes,
to go
correct.
Højlund instead.
Yeah, but he saw Højlund running, right? So he tried to play it through. But I think the defenders in front of him and Højlund stopped running. But at least you can see he's trying to set up his strike partner. Okay,
Yeah,
so I think given time, and if it gets better, it will result in more goal scoring opportunities.
Yeah, but then one of the things that I hope it happens soon, anytime soon, is we have a team play. It's something that I think one of the reasons why we were so happy this morning is because of the goals. It was all team orientated. That is what has been missing all this while in our play. And I look forward to the coming games that we can actually build something like that.
I'm looking forward to seeing Amrabat and Casemiro play together against stronger teams. Let's see if teams can still get through our midfield that they've been getting through early on. The combination looked good today. I think together they put over 170 passes or something like that, right? So it looked good. Let's hope they can keep it up.
Okay, Coach Dom, the formation that Man United played yesterday is better than other formation. Ooh, okay, then this is Naz. Coach Dom, a win is a win. Doesn't mean Crystal Palace are the weaker side. We have to give credits to our boys. I believe in these guys. Yes, I do. It's not me who is not believing.
Somewhere the message is
doesn't believe.
Somewhere the message is being confused.
He used to believe, but the moment David De Gea left and started watching Scarface, started watching
WWE and Scarface.
When we David De Gea.
No, I mean, if they play 3 or 4 games like this, right? This is what we want. This is what will lead to victories. The problem is we've not been putting together performance like this consistently. That is my criticism. I had no criticism on the team yesterday. The only thing is they played a weekend side and everybody is very happy with the performance. That is my only statement.
But then I believe, right, it should get better because we have players all coming back. Mount is back. Amrabat is in. Kobe Mainu is back. Hoyland looks fit. Anthony Martial. All right, let's move on. You see, you set up the topic just nice, lah. Okay, Anthony Martial. What's your take, lah? Because sometimes I'm a bit biased with Martial. What's your take on his on our third goal, Josh? Anthony Martial's goal. Perfect.
I think it was a
Weighted
well taken goal line. It was a very tiny angle that he had to go through Johnston and hit the far post of the goal. So it was a very good finish. I don't know if it's by luck or by intention or by.
Hey, no, it's not luck.
But it was a good goal. It was a good goal. So it can happen
Yes,
by fluke. But if he does it like multiple times, then we know it's not a fluke.
But the service has to come in multiple times. That's the thing. That's the problem with our number 9. There were a lot of comments that I see that, Martial was missing the whole game and whatnot. How about Hoyland? Hoyland came in, so Hoyland was missing. At least sorry, I'm already ranting and whatnot. But then again,
can we like end the show? I mean, like normally how we do.
No. We need some.
This is veto power. This is like the board, lah, Josh.
The board.
Okay, let's not talk too much about Martial. I mean, apart from that goal, I think he was pretty much
average lah. He was average at best lah.
In the penalty box, I think he was non-existent lah, pretty much lah. All right, he was operating more on the left hand side. So that's why I was thinking the next question, our forward three, our best forward three right now. All right, who do you guys think should take the roles? Striker, left winger, right winger. Doc.
That is a very, very tough question. Actually, if you ask me, right, and my choice may be a bit funny lah. Hoyland is to start as the center striker. That one without a doubt. Okay. Now left and right. The problem is actually on the right. Right, we don't have anybody. If you ask me, I would actually give a go to Martial on the left, Hoyland up front, Rashford on the right.
Rashford
at the moment, because we don't have a choice of players on the right. You can swap.
Mason Mount, how about Mason Mount? Mason Mount, I think
Mason Mount also comes in from the left. The problem is you got nobody on the right. Rashford has been right before. He's capable of delivering crosses inside. It may limit his shooting abilities, right?
Which is
but
good.
I think,
Which is good.
I think they can intertwine, because we saw against Bayern Munich, I think Martial played a little bit on the right as well, right? So let them interchange. I think the top of top up front will still be Hoyland.
Definitely. I think we got to get used to having a proper central forward striker in the penalty box, and then probably we need to evolve the way we actually play our front three. So Josh, front three, who?
Front three, of course, Hoyland, there one no doubt. Left, I think we will still start with Rashford. I think hopefully that runs in his mind and he performs better on the left. But on the right, I still want to see because we don't have like an out winger, I don't mind to have actually Mason Mount. Because Mason Mount on the right, I think he can be more inverted player, where if you have Dalot on the right, he can be more overlapping and they can play more inverted, and he can be like the second man with Bruno to play the through balls to Hoyland and even Rashford. So yeah, I don't mind even to give Mount. He's just returning. He played that position before. He can be like a playmaker, advanced playmaker, but don't expect him to do the winger role, but maybe more control. And it's going to be Palace again anyway, so why not try that position?
Okay, maybe the last question before we end this live. The next 5 games. Okay, wait, let me open the next 5 games that we have. All right. So, what are your predictions for the next 5 games? Manchester United. Okay. The next 5 games we got Crystal Palace again. Okay, then after that we got Galatasaray. We have Brentford. We have Sheffield United. And we have Copenhagen. 4 of those games at home, 1 game away to Sheffield United. So what's your prediction, Doc?
Win all 5. They need to win all 5.
Yeah.
Look, we've come off a decent performance yesterday. This weekend will be key. If we can win this weekend comfortably, it will set us in a good place for the following games. 4 home games out of 5, you need to take it all. And considering the start where we've already lost 3 games, right? We need to build some kind of momentum. And this is the perfect opportunity to build that momentum. You've got 4 home games, 1 away against Sheffield United. And Sheffield United just got smashed by Newcastle, right? So this is where we can take advantage. And we need to actually, start moving up the table now. If we're in a good position by Christmas, going into the new year, still in the cup competitions and within a run Who knows? But you need to start putting the wins together. We cannot afford to lose any of these games. We cannot even afford to draw any of these games.
Bingo. Agree. How about you, Josh?
Yeah, I think among all the Premier League teams, Manchester United among the top six has the best run, and I am in agreement with Doc. We have to win all the games, and not only just win convincingly, at least 2 to 3 goal margin, and that's the requirement here already, because all the teams that we're going to meet, okay, the 2 Champions League game is going to be home games, and we expect that to win convincingly. Sheffield, we're going to win. We have to really kill them off. Brentford is the only one, could be the toughest among the lot, and I think if that one, we just have to be more convincing. Good play, have possession, have more goals. This is where Højlund, Rashford, or even Martial gets all the goals in, and we prepare for City. Actually, this is just to be a build-up for Manchester City.
Exactly.
Because when we have good wins in Manchester City, they will think twice. Pep will have a bit more tinkering to do already on a position. So I'm in agreement there. I wish all of these games to be win, nothing less than a win for all these games until the City game.
You hardly get this kind of good luck, Coach Dom. Normally, your league games, there'll be one home, one away, sometimes maybe 2 at home. Now, because of the Champions League, 2 home games, we've got 4 home games out of 5 in all both competitions, right? This is where it gives you the chance to build some momentum, And if we win all the games, even in the Champions League, we'll be in a good position, right? My only concern is this. We are going to play almost 2 games every week. Although they're home games, everybody has to contribute. It cannot be just the same few contributing. There will be some rotation that needs to be done. And everybody who comes in should make sure that the performance of the team stays the same. Like, for example, like what Brighton did, right? They switched 6, but their performance is the same. That is what we need in these next 6 games. Okay? So there will be times where Casemiro may need to be rested. There may be times Amrabat needs to be rested. Okay? Maybe Amrabat, maybe not, because he's just coming in, loan, squeeze the bugger, right? Use him as much as possible. But Casemiro will have to take, definitely one of the games he'll be rested. Okay? Who comes in has to perform as well.
Depends.
And also, I think some of the younger guys need to step up. Pellistri, everybody's been calling Pellistri on the right. Pellistri on the right. He's doing good for Uruguay. I still don't see it for United. These are good opportunities. Substitutions will be key. You can, when you're up early, 2-0, 3-0, you can rest some players, bring in some of them, give them a run early, not in the 80th minute.
But I think it all depends on the board.
Hey, and also one more important thing is that they need to be injury free. This is where the squad is really come into play, and the head of medical is really need to work overtime on this to advise Ten Hag who can play full game, who cannot play full game. That's why this is very important. Where all the games we need to have early leads, get 2-3-0 or convincingly, then we can start doing the rotation, do the early subs, play fully, maximize the 5 substitutions that we have, which is a privilege at this point of time. So good thing, yesterday, the match gives everyone a confidence boost that everyone have a chance to play. And this is the run that we really want to ensure that before City, we really are prepared for them.
So you think that he will play at left back again, or you think Reguilon will come back in?
Reguilon will definitely come back.
If he's fit, I think Reguilon will still play. But depending on how, because he's the only left back left, So I would rather play him on maybe the Champions League game or things like that. But if let's say if we have to make shift to play the left back, by all means, if yesterday is going to be the performance, then why not? That's not
Malaysia will be coming back. Malaysia will be coming back soon.
I'm just wondering why, because if you have a good midfielder like this, you don't want to waste him at left back.
Right.
Yeah,
you need him in the center of midfield. And then comes your question on who's going to be a center midfield, because there will be 3 places up for grabs. There'll be 4 players. I have a funny feeling Bruno might end up playing on the right.
Probably. He might just end up there, because then we will lose that.
Which tends to limit his creativity. Yeah. And I don't know why Ten Hag likes to do that. So I don't think Martial will play on the left as I want, and I'm sure as much as
how about this question? My concern is Eric Ten Hag putting Bruno, Cassie, Mount as midfield trio. Okay, do you think that maybe having Amrabat in the mix, right? We will see a different. The case is like Bruno cannot play with Mason Mount because they are both doing the same roles and whatnot. What do you guys think? Does having someone like an anchor like Amrabat, a proper anchor like Amrabat, will actually allow these two guys to actually play together? Josh.
Amrabat needs to play in that three for sure, because only if he plays, the other two can express themselves, go forward, and all those. If you don't have him, two out of three of them going to suffer tremendously because they don't have that ability to have the legs. Bruno is not defensive minded. Casemiro, he can defend, but he don't have the legs for it. Mount is just coming in, and he's a very offensive player. He don't have the defensive intelligence to come and come into the center back or go into the left back or go into the right back, that kind of thing. We need Amrabat. And if only we have Amrabat, then we have two more midfield that can express themselves up front. That's what we want. We want to be in possession at the third half.
Okay, I think we wrap up with the last question. Man of the match, the game this morning, Doc.
Man of the match this morning, Casemiro.
Okay.
Casemiro. I close, very close between Amrabat and Casemiro. But I thought, when I was watching the game, I really thought that Casemiro had a slightly better game than Amrabat.
Josh.
Sofian Amrabat. He's the man. First game debut, 3-0.
He's waiting to show us something there.
Yes.
I totally agree. I think that Casemiro played well because Amrabat allowed him to play well.
That's right.
And then I have my shit also. Okay.
Well done.
Wait. This is not the cool part. The cool part is not this. All right. The cool part is this.
3A.
So because Chinese 4, 4, right? 4 we cannot put 4 so it's 3A Amrabat 3A Okay, so that's the man of the match. Okay, so guys, I think
you should have put 1 plus 3 day.
Cannot day. They want too complicated You like to overcomplicate things dog. Seriously. Okay, guys, I think that's all for tonight. All right, guys, I will be back again live. I think probably we can try this Saturday. As soon as we finish the game, we just come in live and whatnot. What do you guys think? Okay, right?
Early game, right? Yeah, we should.
Early game, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, by 12:30, right? So probably the next time we'll come live 12:30 this Saturday. So subscribe if you haven't, like our video, share, comment, and do the whole lot. All right, thank you.
Join us on Saturday.
This Saturday. All right, good night.